Hello, my name is Felipa, and today is day 32 of my year-long reading plan to complete this Bible. So we're in book number 4 of Numbers, started in chapter 15, the law of the meal offering and the drink offering. And it's basically a big section about saying what the people of Israel are expected to do in terms of offering sacrifices and to show their commitment to God. There's also an outline of what those sacrifices look like, if it's a sin of ignorance or a punishment for presumptuous people. God says, I want you to wear fringes on your garments so that you may, as a remembrance of all the good that God does. And he says here in verse 39, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring. So just this part saying, remember not to give in to what you see and what you desire, but remember me. And then we have a couple of rebels of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, and they basically rebel against the God. They say, who are you? Who's you promised us this land, you didn't deliver. And basically, God takes them and everybody associated with them and their families, and the earth swallows them whole. Interestingly enough, so this is chapter 16 and verse 28, Moses said, Hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. This is really interesting because, of course, Moses is a human. He is one of his fellow man. I think he wants people to like him and to want to listen to him rather than to be scared of him. And so he makes it very clear this isn't something that I'm ordering. So all these rebels and their families are swallowed up by the earth, and God gets rid of everybody that basically is sinning and questioning God. And then he also sets out a plague because people are now scared and they say, what's going on? Are you going to kill everybody that kind of murmurs against you? Are we all just going to die? And so God puts out a plague. And he also says, I'm not going to be taking these people into essentially the promised land. And then we have a bit more of a section that talks about how the Israelites traveled through land, how certain factions and certain kings and things like that forbid them from passing, and how Israel essentially beat all of them and then ended up taking up their land. And so tomorrow is chapter 22. Balak's first message for Balaam is refused. Not sure what I'm going to get to read, but essentially this is so far the trajectory of the chapter is we're continuing to see the children of Israel travel to this promised land, and we're continuing to see this pattern of God essentially killing off all of these basically generations of people who seem to be in his eyes flawed. So I will see you tomorrow.